Good morning and welcome back to another Chicano Podcast episode. On today's subject or conversation that I want to have with you guys is gonna be on the Texas Synagogue um, terroristic threat that happened or terroristic act that somebody took. If you guys haven't heard, a man went into a Texas synagogue on January 15th, if I'm not mistaken, and he had four people hostage. And the man who took four people hostage at a Texas synagogue was shot dead while he was on the phone with his children. His brother said Malik Vasal Akram is the suspect, or is the guy. A British national was killed after an hours-long standoff at the synagogue in Cooleyville, Texas, and the hostages were safely released, law enforcement said. From what I've read and I've seen, so this guy goes in there, um, he takes four hostages, and one of them is the rabbi, and he makes that rabbi call another rabbi in New York, and his demands were what he wanted out of this whole situation. He had claimed that he wanted his sister, um, his sister, one of his sisters that's in jail, to be released to him, and then I guess he wanted to take her out of the prison and then remove her from the United States and go back. Now, let me get you guys some information on the sister. Okay, terrorist Aifa Siddiqui. I don't know how to pronounce her name. A goal shared by the U.S.-based Consul in American Islamic Relations. British citizen Malik Faisal Akram, which is the guy, took members of the congregation. Damn, man. I took coffee and whew, Beth Israel synagogue hostage during their live stream Saturday services, capturing the rabbi and three others. After an 11-hour standoff between Akram and the police and the FBI, the hostages escaped. Akram was killed by the law enforcement. Um, so he was trying to get her out, and she's known to be a terrorist. Um, she she's just not a good person to have out of the prison, right? I'll put a couple of stats right here of her and what she's done, but apparently he failed. He ended up dying. The problem here is this guy comes from he travels, gets a gun here in Texas, and does this terroristic act. My problem here is how the hell was he able to travel without, because I'm assuming he doesn't have his COVID card or whatever, right? That's one. Okay, that's the lightest one. I know people are gonna be, oh well, fuck the COVID or whatever, right? But then, how did they let him into the U.S. knowing because he does have a rap sheet too. He has a rap sheet of watch. Let me show you the rap sheet. So what uh what the FBI knew about him was that he had a history of mental illness and that he was part of or he was possibly part of the Islamic terrorist threat. He said government sources told Guardian it was closely shortly after an assessment that there was no indication he presented a terrorist threat at the time, a government source told, although he was put on a list of subjects of interest. He said the spy agency concluded that he did not pass the threshold for a full-blown investigation. So people already knew about him. They already felt that he was a potential terrorist. He was still allowed into the U.S. given that he already had um, how can I explain to you? He already had priors. You know what I mean? He was already like suspicious. He was already sus. Now, one thing is okay. Well, you know what I mean? No problem. We never heard about him, but they know his name. They know who more or less what crew he's with what kind of terroristic group he's in, and then they still let him in here. Okay, then I think that's where the FBI messed up because they, you know what I mean? You got to be careful with people like this, especially if they already have mental illnesses or whatever. But okay, how does he? Another issue right here. How long was he here for? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. How long was he here for? How long did it take him to acquire a gun here in Texas? And you know what I mean? How easy was it for him to just? That's crazy, man. Like any person here that knows Texas, supposedly the rules, if you have priors, if you have a record, if whatever the situation is, if you've been a convicted felon, you cannot get a weapon. But after seeing this, makes me think like, damn man, is it really that easy here in Texas to get a damn gun? Can anybody just go and get a damn gun? We need some type of rules, you know what I mean? Hey, my brother, let me check your record. Oh shit, you haven't even been in Texas for fucking 2 months. You haven't even been here for 2 months, and you already want a gun? I'm sorry, we can't sell you this because there's reasoning behind this. You can't just buy a gun here in Texas just for fun. You know what I mean? Now, how safe are we? You know what I mean? How safe are we? How how is Texas gonna just let this man buy any type of gun? You know what I mean? Oh, let's get a gun. Boom, let him do this type of shit. Is this Texas part fault at this? Of course, if he has a goal, you're not gonna stop the man. He'll explode something. He'll get a bomb or whatever. Any man that has a type of that he wants to kill people, he's gonna do it. Any type of mentality. You know what I mean? Now, what he's trying to do is release this woman. I don't get why he's trying to release this woman. Apparently, but you know what I mean? It did he go about it the right way though? You know what I mean? If he's gonna try to get a woman out, why would he go into uh into a synagogue and then do this type of deal? That's where I'm puzzled right now. You know what I mean? I don't get why he he was able to do all this shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know why he's trying to do this shit. He accomplished nothing but to kill himself. Apparently, he didn't want to kill nobody. You know what I mean? I think he just grabbed the gun to threaten people to get her out because anybody that's going to do it, they're just going to go in the synagogue, pop off, make sure that, you know what I mean, you're sending out a clear warning that you are a threat, that you are going to kill people. This man didn't kill nobody. Everybody got out good, harmless. Um, the message was there, but he didn't go through with it. The problem here that I have with this thing, and it's not getting enough coverage, but is how does he go from I think from the UK cross over to the US with no issues? They let him through. They give him uh, a tourist pass, I guess you could call it that. But a lot of Latinos that are trying to cross over in the simple in as just simply just to get out of Mexico. Let's just go. We don't even have to go that far here. And I live here in El Paso. From Juarez to El Paso, they just want to come and work. And these motherfuckers have to go through extensive payments. You have to pay, and then you have to wait about a year till you get a notification or a letter like, hey, you know what? now we need all your information. Okay, another year. Oh, now we need this. You know what I mean? It's a give and go. It's about 3 years before you get any type of pass or tourist um, visa or work visas. That's what I don't get. How was this man able to do all this shit for? I'm assuming within a month. He did this within a month. I'm gonna keep a close eye on this. But what I want to know is how you know what I mean? Mexicans cannot come over without all these paperwork, without proving themselves, with all this other shit, and they're just trying to work. Okay, not all Mexicans are good either. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the how easily was it for him, right? A man known for mental illness or maybe even terroristic threats to come all the way from the UK to Texas, get a gun, not even just come here. Okay, that's okay. You know what I mean? They slipped up, but then he's still able to get a fucking gun. Like how does that work? And then it'll take Latinos or Mexicans or Hispanic or Mexicans um years to get a passage this way. That's blowing my fucking mind. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm talking about it because of experience, because I know people, because I've met people, because I've seen, oh, you know what? I applied fucking 6 months ago. Nothing. I applied for a work visa. I worked or for a green card or for U.S. I'm a resident and I'm trying to become a U.S. citizen. And freaking, it's a shitload of time. You know what I mean? It's time consuming. And it's not that easy, you know what I mean? And even then, you just don't go to Texas and oh yes, let's go get some ARs, let's go get some pistols or whatever. Like, it's not that easy. It shouldn't be that easy. And this man did it just like that. A mentally ill person did that. Because if he's mentally ill, would he be able to do all this shit? Would it be that easy for him? When I think mentally ill is somebody that's got a problem, but for him to get by customs or the federal government, get a permit, a tourist permit, right? To come visit or whatever. And then to still slide on the Texas government to get a weapon. Doesn't that take some type of brains? He outsmarted everybody and he was able to do all this shit. And if he really wanted to, he would have shot everybody right there. Real talk, if he really wanted to. The only thing that he didn't accomplish is to get that woman out, and that's because there's no way that you're gonna get a woman out just because you take hostage of 4 people. Like I'm saying, if even then, let's say he were to kill 4 people, all those 4 people or everybody in the synagogue, would he get that woman out? No, that's they would just take him out. They would have to take him out. That would be easier for people to get him out. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's that easy? Do you guys think um there should be better rules for other people or the same implemented rules that there is for Mexicans trying to come over here to the US to work or to visit or whatever? Should that be implemented to everybody, any type? You know what I mean? Because I know for a fact that if you live on the northern part, let's say Canada and stuff like that, it's so much easier to come through Canada than it is to come from the southern border. So it's easier to come from the northern border than from the southern border. That's insane. That's you know what I mean, but it should be everybody. It should be northern border. Damn, I'm having a hard time speaking today. Northern border and the southern border. It should be the same damn thing because you're coming into the U.S.